So what we're going to do today is similar to what we did last week. Those of you who were there last week, welcome. And those of you who are new, and welcome to you also. We're going to discuss 5 key elements that we have discussed last week. For example, number 1, the new stress factors due to COVID, that is uncertainty and loneliness. Even though we are in this era, a COVID era, uncertainty and loneliness, one thing is very certain is we are all in it. When you say uncertainty, uncertainty of what? We are all worried about ourselves, worried about others, and in terms of disease or money or power, possession, or any of those. And the loneliness, we have discussed the loneliness. We are all feeling that somewhere or the other, but we are not alone, everybody is in it. The second, if that is the case, what are the 2 reasons our daily routine is disturbed during these stressful times? This is increased stress, suppresses your immune system, for that, your risk of illness, including COVID. We need to reprogram our daily routine to fix the problem. The simplest fix is to introduce new tasks, that is from wake up time until go to sleep. What are those fixer-upper tools? Before we talk about the tools, let's define what is tool. The tool is just like your toothbrush. Toothbrush is a tool. And learning to use properly is a skill. If that is the case, brushing your teeth daily in the morning or the evening, like we have, Dr. Seth has discussed in between when you finish eating, that is a ritual. If you have not done it, and then you have to learn that. Just like that, we had to learn new rituals. What are those remedial tasks as we do ourselves and we recommend for our patients? Let us discuss. In this discussion, after I tell you what we do as a family and then what we tell our patients, you all can share, and then that way we learn. I don't have answers for all your questions, but I will try my level best. At the same time, if we have questions, and then we will discuss that. So what are the goals? There are 4 goals. Manage the fear of uncertainty, overcome loneliness, reduce stress due to above challenges, and empower your immune system. It is very important to empower all immune system as well as all of this. Let us see what we do when we wake up in the morning. It is very important to wake up with sunrise. Why is it important? It is important because you have to synchronize your waking up and sleeping to a circadian rhythm to increase your immunity, to have melatonin, which helps to sleep better. And then if you get up early, you get to go to bed early so that you have a good night sleep. Sleep is extremely important for that matter. And then we do that, we get up in the morning. What I like to do is when I get up and I go for a walk, and I'm a nature lover and I like to walk outside, in nature. But in this COVID time, it's not that easy still. And I like to walk 5 or 5.5 miles 5 days a week. And then after that, writing gratitude journal. Gratitude journal we have discussed slightly last time, and it's up to an individual whom you have to be grateful for, and that is what I do. And before, I don't eat breakfast that early because I like to eat around 10 o'clock if I have a choice. So before that, and then I do my puja and meditation, and that is what I do. That is what I teach my children and grandchildren to do it. And then breakfast. What do we eat for breakfast is very important, and where you eat and is equally important. You may want to eat, balanced breakfast, like if you are allowed to eat egg, for example, egg or egg white and cereal, and then whole grains, bread or chapatis, or if you are having, and then I do not drink tea or coffee in the morning, but if you are used to having tea or coffee. Most importantly, in where do you eat is important. In this COVID era, we certainly recommend that you eat your breakfast early morning, or if you are eating early morning. Even otherwise, eating in the sunlight is extremely important for your boosting your immunity, as well as the things that we have mentioned earlier. So if you do not have a place to go outside and eat, and at least near the windows, that you should go and eat. And the second thing is your bowel movement, which is extremely important, especially for seniors. But that depends on what you had for dinner previous night. And we will talk about the goal is to have the bowel movement completely. Emptying your bowel is very important, that too in the morning. So we'll track back if that does not happen, that did not happen. We'll track back what you ate in the nighttime. In the mid morning. Again, if you did not do your nature walk early morning, you can do that in mid-morning. And I like to do vegetable gardens, and this is the time I go out, either the vegetable garden or I work in my rose garden and my flower garden. So I want, especially during this COVID time, I want to be independently growing all the vegetables, so that I don't have to worry about whether I get this Indian vegetable or that. So that is what I enjoy doing, and that's what I do. And the lunchtime. Lunchtime, I'm a very poor eater. I don't eat too much of lunch, but if you guys like to eat the lunch, low glycemic index carb and some protein, especially beans, lentils, and the soup and salad, those things that we recommend to our patients. And then if I eat, that is what I eat. Then after lunch, siesta is very much recommended for seniors, but how long you sleep or take a nap is extremely important. The maximum time that you should do is 20 to 30 minutes. And afternoon activities, if you're living with your family and grandchildren or children, family activities, what we do is our grandchildren go to, even though they don't go to school, they have school activities. So afternoon, we try to do the activities together. What I do is, if that is not possible, I like to do, I don't call myself an artist, but I enjoy doing painting, drawing, and photography. Photography is not that much of possible now. Whatever I can, I do, but I do write poetry, and I do drawing and painting, which I have increased doing it because whatever time I have, then I enjoy doing that. I do the things that I enjoy doing. And afternoon tea time is very important because that's the time that I get to talk to my husband in person, because if we see patients during until then 4:30 or 5 o'clock, this is the time for both of us. What do you have for snacks is you can have some nuts and things like that. The evening time, if you can spend some time with your family, that especially the ones who are not staying with you or you're not staying with them, this is the time to have some chat with your friends and family. And then dinner time, then the dinner time is also lean and green. And but what we recommend is time, touch, and talk. Like we have discussed last time, you set up a time so that you make it as a routine. And say if it's in the evening or morning or whatever time, either with your family or with your the friends, have a time. This COVID time, we cannot have the touch, but you can call or WhatsApp or whatever. That's the e-touch, and talk. We all are under tremendous stress and anxiety. So what do we talk? We don't want to talk the negative things. Talk about how you feel and what is happening to your body and where you're feeling that stress. And as much as possible, talk about some of the emotions that you're having and some of the things that's happening to your body. That is what you discuss, not the negative things happen in the world. It keeps happening no matter what, whether you discuss or not, that happens anyway. So why bother about the things that we cannot change? The things that we can change is what happens to our body and what happens to our mind. So it is important to have for dinner. I will talk about resistant starch and supplements. It is very important to have resistant starch for your dinner. To have next day clear bowel movement is one, and to increase the short chain fatty acid so that your gut bacteria is balanced. And so for that reason, to have resistant starch is very important. That's what we do. What is resistant starch? Resistance can be a very inexpensive way is to have potato starch. It is not a potato. It's not eating a potato, but it's a potato starch, and then inulin. And the bedtime. And I listen to some music and reading. And then that is right about self-compassion. And so those are some of the things. And very, very important to identify what is your physiological signature. And before that, and one other thing that you can do, what I do is that, like I said, I'm a nature lover. They call it in Japan, this is called Shinrin Yoko, that is called loving the nature. If you do not have to, it's like a forest bath, they call it. So if you cannot go out for too far, just in your own backyard, or if you look at a tree, just be mindful and appreciate, and then be present at the present time, which is important in this COVID time. The other important thing is recognizing your own physiological signals. We all have different signals in terms of when you're stressed out, when you're anxious. For example, when I'm stressed out and my shoulders hurt and my muscles ache. Some may have, their gut starts having problem, and some may have sweaty palms, and some may have rapid breathing, and some may have racing heart, and or sweaty extremities, and or restless mind. So these are different for different people. So for that, if you recognize which one is your physiological signal, and you can work accordingly. With this, and I think I'm going to stop at this time. And then I told you one other thing is very important is watching TV in the nighttime versus watching daytime. When you watch TV during nighttime, you are, too much of blue light reduces your melatonin, the production, which is very important for your sleep. So if you watch too much of TV at the nighttime, and you will not be able to sleep better. For that reason, if you're watching television, you should watch maybe mid-morning or mid-afternoon rather than the nighttime. Nighttime, keep it for reading and music and things like that. And also how long you watch is very important. As we all feel that we are bored, we want to watch too much of TV, the recommended is anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour per day. TV time is important. The other thing is how much time you want to spend with your family, because we are all getting there as much as possible, whether you by talking or spending some time, which is important for your mental health. So at this time, and I will take questions, and then I will stop at this.